I'm here with Karen Cohn, who is the General Manager of Worldwide Financial Services at Microsoft, and we're at the Straight Talk Live event talking about customer experience in the financial services industry. One of the things that I'm interested in, Karen, based upon some of the things you said on the panel, are how the role that technology plays in enhancing the experience in a business, banking, where personal relationships were the traditional element of customer experience. Because it was your money in financial services, it was often based on a personal relationship with a banker. And so how does technology or where does it intersect with that traditional relationship aspect of customer experience?
Well, I think technology is an extension of the relationship. It's an extension of the experience. It's also scaling it, and so you do look at your customers differently. But it's a way to say, I care about you, I know who you are, understand what they want, record it, not make people repeat things, connect. So it is a relationship. But more and more in this day and age, people have relationships with technology. I mean, there's a big, when you look at how people interact with different devices, the interaction with the PC is fairly cold. That's more of an analytical tool. But people have love-ins with their phones today. I mean, they want it beautiful, they want it, so that experience, when you look at phones and tablets are a bit in between. So one has to recognize that people are different. Sometimes it's the person-to-person experience. Sometimes it's making a relationship with the device that is being used to be connected. So I believe it is a relationship. It's still relationship banking. It's just that your relationship model has evolved, and one has to move with it.
That's a really interesting idea, perhaps with the common denominator between those two types of relationships being that emotional connection that you have with something that is your window onto relationships with other people, that being technology. Tell me something, this is just occurs to me. You as a customer of a financial services institution or a bank, what sort of technology enhancements have you seen in the last couple of years, possibly certain technology that Microsoft has been able to deliver to banks that have enhanced your own experience as a customer of banks?
Well, I think it comes from multiple fronts. There's no question that mobile banking, and Microsoft has mobile banking applications with major banks all over the world that are delivered through the Windows Phone, but is also delivered through non-Windows devices. Often those are, in fact, driven in a Microsoft world at the back end. The online banking capabilities is another area that is very critical, but it also extends into the insurance business. My home was damaged in a storm, and there was a claims adjuster who came out to take a look at it. Happened to have been from a firm that was an important customer of Microsoft. And sure enough, they had with them the ability to use a tablet to immediately assess what was the damage. And on the spot, he said, here's what we're going to cover. He had all my information, he had all my files, he knew about me. And I was amazed, and I knew because I was with Microsoft, I've been providing that capabilities, but when it touched me personally and the ability to know right off what the situation is, I think it's very important. So I think it does interact with the consumer. And then of course the cool thing was, happened very recently. I walk into my family room and my young adult son is sitting there. He's used Internet Explorer that's on Xbox to come in, and there he's doing his banking and paying his bills, sitting on the living room couch through Xbox with his Bank of America account. I thought, wow. This
Talk-
is amazing.
Talk about convergence of the fun and the important, and they're in one particular instance. One last question: where do you think, or what, without it's probably impossible to predict, but what areas do you think that technology will make some steps towards enhancing that customer experience in the next 5 years, say? Do you see some kind of wide open spaces where there's the potential for real ability to delight customers even more than they are today?
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the way we're interacting today with technology, in general, we have perhaps it's a branch experience, perhaps it's a financial advisor, perhaps in a corporation it might be an interaction that I'm doing global transaction services online, or I'm working on my mobile phone. Each of these experiences are slightly different, and they have changed. And a lot of the work that we've been doing at Microsoft and that we've been doing with partners like HCL is to bring that together. I think the big leapfrog will be that it doesn't matter where you begin and where you end. You might be looking at a home, taking a photograph of that home, and that photograph identifies the location, what it is, sends it to the real estate agent to get a quote of the availability. I stopped, I saw a sign. It automatically goes to the bank. The financial advisor calls you, has it. You then go home. It's in your home. You can discuss it with your spouse, continue on, and perhaps go to a mortgage. All of that just happens. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant where it began or where it ended, which could be an in-person conversation. What matters, it all comes together, and I think we are going to see that. We already have the capability to do that. It's now a matter of getting it accepted, getting it delivered, and really scaled.
Exciting times ahead for the consumer in the financial services world. Karen, thank you very much for your time and for being on the panel today.
My pleasure.
Thanks a lot.